to get us back underway in the second half. Playing all in yellow and playing from left to right as we look at it. Ukraine in their chain strip of all blue with yellow numbers. They're attacking the goal away to the left-hand side. No changes to the two teams, so I'll give you the lineups. Ukraine with Lunin in goal, Zinchenko, Matvienko, Zabani and Konoplia. The back four. Just break off because Romania on a very quick attack here straight away, and a right foot shot goes just wide of the far post. It was Coman who came on in his right foot, just trying to bend that inside the far post and didn't miss by much.
No, he didn't. You see what he's trying to do, just trying to curl it into that bottom right hand corner, just didn't quite get the connection. But yet again, that comes from Ukraine playing out from the back, a bit lackadaisical, end up losing the ball, and Romania do really well to pounce on it and find an end product.
Just to complete that Ukrainian team, Shaparenko and Stepanenko in midfield, Sudikov, Mudryk and Sihankov all supporting Dovbyk in the attack. As for Romania, Nita in goal, Raciu, Burka, Dragushin and Banku, the back four. Razvan Marin, Marius Marin in central midfield alongside Nicolae Stanciu. Denis Mann and Florinel Coman, the two wingers, and is Dragush in attack. Here come Ukraine, bringing the ball out from the back with Zabani. It's such a good impression at Bournemouth this season. And Konoplia, early ball towards Dovbyk, but there was only Dovbyk in the penalty area there for Ukraine, and Dragushin is able to bring it clear for Romania. But Ukraine have won it back, and here is Shaparenko. Plays for Dynamo Kyiv. Zabani back to Matvienko. We've seen a lot of this in the game so far. Ukraine allowed to bring the ball out from the back, but the ball is just put straight out of play there, and Romania will have to throw in. And Courtney, they do not look comfortable, Ukraine, at the moment.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of possession, you're right, but as well we've seen a lot of that. We've seen Ukraine give the ball away, force the issue. That ball doesn't really need to go forward that quickly, that directly. You can play through the thirds a little bit more, but I think it's a shame for Ukraine, the amount of possession they're having, but they just can't find the quality to break Romania down. But you've got to give credit to Romania. The defensive shape has been brilliant.
Ukraine boss Serhiy Rebrov was an excellent striker in his day, won 75 caps for Ukraine, played for Spurs in the Premier League, played 4 games at the 2006 World Cup, scored against Saudi Arabia. He's had success as a coach as well. Here's Mudryk down the left for Ukraine, curling cross, headed up, but not really away by Dragushin, but Raciu is able to complete the clearance. Zinchenko finds possession now for Ukraine, inside left channel, 10 yards inside the Romanian half. Can Ukraine find an answer? 1-0 down in Munich against Romania. Now it's with Sudikov on the left-hand side, right foot across to the far post again. Dragushin is there. He is a man mountain at the heart of that Romanian defence. He's always likely to be an athlete of some sort. His parents were both Romanian internationals. His father Dan was a volleyball player. His mother Svetlana was a basketball international. And his sister Nera has played basketball for Romania at youth level. Quite the family. Here's Sudikov, left corner of the penalty area. Back to Zinchenko now. Stepanenko, the captain, turning away from trouble. There is a Romanian player down, but the referee not minded to stop the play at the moment. Sihankov rolls it to Stepanenko. He curls it out to the left-hand side. Romanian fans booing here. They want the game to be stopped. Dragush is now getting to his feet. Here's Sudikov, right foot shot, and he got right underneath it. He was 25 yards out, and the ball sailed over the crossbar. It remains 1-0 Romania.
He finds himself in a good area, Sudikov. And actually, that little relationship between him and Mudryk is a lot better on the movement. I think he very much kept in the same planes of movement in the first half. But there you see Mudryk, he comes in, Sudikov comes out on the left-hand side and cuts in on the right. But in the end, the shot was way over the bar.
Voice of the former Liverpool, Everton and Sheffield United striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside Kevin Hatchard for this one on TalkSport 2. Game Day Live. Romania leading Ukraine by a goal to 0, their first game of Euro 2024. Dennis Mann comes forward now, and it was a rather wayward pass from Razvan Marin, the Empoli midfielder. And straight out of play.
A shame. You saw what he was trying to do. He just wanted to open up on his right hand side and push it down the line to his teammate Mann. But again, that comes from a bit of indecision on that Ukrainian left hand side, both competing for the same ball, and leaves that space for Mann.
Lovely touch there by Dragush to find Dennis Mann. His cross cleared at the near post by Ukraine, and then Mudryk can't keep the ball in. It'll be a Romanian throw on this near side, the right level with the edge of the penalty area. Ratu has it. That extraordinary blue hair of his, a little like Sonic the Hedgehog. Nice little turn here by Dragush, right footed cross, all the way through to the edge of the D. Stanchu, lovely turn. Can he do it again? And he ends up passing the ball square, and now they've been caught out. Marius Marin has lost it, and now Ukraine are on the charge. Excellent run by Sudakov, still going. He's got options left and right. And Romania did really well to get back and get into their shape there. Mudryk has found a bit of space, and the shot by Sihankov is charged down by Ratu, and that'll be a Ukrainian corner, but it could have been more than that.
Yeah, I don't really know how Sudakov got out of that. A couple of poor challenges really by Marin. The referee could have given a free kick at any point, but keeps on playing. It's just a shame, and by the time he got to the edge of the box, Sudakov, Romania managed to get their players back and get back into a low block.
Mudryk takes the low road, knocks it back to Zinchenko, back out to Mudryk, approaching the left edge of the penalty area, onto his right foot, still going, shot charged down brilliantly, and the ball spins away for a Ukrainian throw on the far side to right. Mudryk trying to make things happen.
Yeah, and his movement certainly in the second half already for me has been a lot better. He's trying to make things happen, getting on the ball, drawing players around him, but as soon as he gets the ball, he's got 3 or 4 players, Romanian players around him. Can he lay it off to someone else in the space that is created?
Again, diligent defending by Romania on that far side, the left, and now they can break. A really storming run by Dragush, he did brilliantly. And now Ratu charging through the centre, out to Dennis Mann, edge of the area, onto his left foot, still going. It was a heavy touch, shot on the rebound. Oh! Absolutely stunning again! Razvan Marin this time! They only half cleared at Ukraine, and Razvan Marin with a right foot shot from outside the area that flew into the bottom corner beyond Lunin, and this is dreamland for Romania. They lead Ukraine by 2 goals to 0.
What a counter-attack this is. Blinking, you miss it. The pace and the power within it, the quality going forward, and Razvan Marin, I think he's been fantastic defensively today. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making vital challenges, but you see this chipping in, going forward. Absolutely exceptional the way that Romania go forward. The passing, man comes inside, you think he's going to get the shot off, he doesn't, and then it gets followed up. It's a wonderful strike, probably all of 25 yards out, just hits it hard and low. Razvan Marin, I don't know whether Lunin's going to be disappointed with that. I don't know whether Zabani gets in his way a little bit. It certainly goes under Lunin. And I think when he looks back at that, he'll be very, very disappointed. Goalkeeper, but take nothing away from Romania. It's a fantastic counter-attacking goal.
Yeah, you've got to think that Andrei Lunin should have got down more quickly, but it's some strike from Marin. Hits it so truly after the ball had rebounded out to him after a really determined run by Dennis Mann. And with 2 super strikes from outside the box, Romania suddenly find themselves 2-0 up. And to be honest, you struggle to argue with that. They have been the better team so far this afternoon in Munich, and Ukraine have it all to do.
Yeah, deservedly so. 2-0 in front. The game plan has been excellent, executed extremely well by the players, and now it's about how do you hold on to this lead. But they've managed it so well so far in the first 55 minutes of this game.
High hanging ball from Matvienko, and that's pouched by the goalkeeper Florin Nito, who we've barely mentioned actually. It wasn't certain that he would get the nod today, the 36-year-old who plays in Turkey for Gaziantep. Player has won titles in Romania and Czechia. He was the Romanian Player of the Year back in 2017, but he's barely had anything to do this afternoon.
Much credit to the players in front of him, and I'm not just talking about the defenders. It's been a real team effort, defending from the front, shutting down space, making it very, very difficult for those Ukrainian forwards to get any joy.
4 of Romania's 5 shots have been from outside the box so far, and they have been so dangerous from range. But poor old Andriy Lunin, who wasn't certain to start this game. Anatoly Trudin, the young Benfica goalkeeper, was in the mix. But Lunin will look back on both goals and think he could have done much better.
Yeah, I certainly think that he'll be disappointed, but what Razvan Marin does so well is takes the shot on extremely early.
Well, they've given it away here. Shot deflected, and they've cleared it only as far as Dennis Mann into the Ukrainian area. Now Ratu with the shot, brilliant save this time by Lunin. Ratu trying to rattle it in at the near post, and Lunin with strong hands sends it behind for a corner. It could have been 3.
Yeah, it's Mudryk that loses possession. Stanciu does so well to pounce on the ball. He gets the shot off. Man yet again coming across the box. A lovely little flick back to his right back Ratu.
Here they go again, Dennis Mann from the corner, and they've touched it in from close range. Ukraine were caught out. Dennis Mann danced into the box, played it towards goal. It's not his goal, it was touched in just before it rolled home. But Romania now 3-0 up. There are Romanian fans openly weeping, and Dennis Mann skipped in, shot goalwards. It got a touch. I think it was Draguš who got the final touch, but either way, it's Romania who are 3-0 up.
And it's a clever short corner. Stanciu, Mann, Draguš, the players that have been so involved for Romania throughout this game. That's perfect from Draguš as a centre forward. Doesn't matter if it's from 3 yards out, right place at the right time. Easiest goal he'll probably ever score, but how much does it mean to him? His side, his nation. 3-0, who would have called it?
Denis Draguš making sure it was Dennis Mann who made the run into the penalty area, slaloming run after they caught Ukraine out completely with the short corner. And there was Draguš in the 6-yard box, where all good strikers should be. And Ukraine are stunned.
Will be upsetting. You see that short corner, not a Ukrainian player in sight. Switched off. They're probably disappointed from obviously conceding the second goal, but still vulnerable, not switched on. Don't go out to defend the ball very well. Mann does extremely well, dances through that defence in the box and does what all good forward players should just do. Put the ball in a good area, let everyone else do the rest, and Draguš certainly does that with a little tap in.
Sergei Rebrov in his dugout looking ashen-faced. It's been a very difficult afternoon for his team so far. And Romania have sensed that they could move to a higher gear in this second half, and they have done just that. If you are just joining us on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2, Nikolai Stanciu with the opener on 29 minutes. Further goals from Razvan Marin on 53 and Denis Draguš on 57, and it is Romania who are in control. You are listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Romania do have a problem here. Denis Draguš is down, and he just slipped as he tried to move away from Konoplia. It seems that he's overextended something.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You see, he steps back, completely slips, almost does the splits, and you just see sort of the outside of his glutes. He was clutching very quickly, and hopefully that's not something that we'll see him depart the pitch.
Romania are preparing a double change. They're going to bring on Yanis Hadji and Valentin Mihaila. For Ukraine, even though the game is slipping away from them, it's about what they do now to try and rebuild their confidence in game, because still got two big games to come. Belgium and Slovakia, the other teams in the group. Here is Sihankov, left edge of the penalty area. Dragushin comes across like a brick wall, wins the ball back and then clears long. And he really has been a muscular presence at the heart of that Romanian rearguard.
He really has, and that's the reason, or one of why, Ukraine's still not had a shot on target. We're ticking into the 61st minute, and it's unbelievable when you think about it that way. But you've got to give credit to the defensive shape, the willingness, the aggression, the way that they've defended in their 1v1 battles has been excellent from Romania.
And Shaparenko for Ukraine plays it down the right-hand side, looking for Konoplia, but what was he really meant to do with that? Couldn't quite bring the ball under his spell. It skipped away from him. He goes behind for a goal kick.
And just saw Ratu there, really hyping the crowd up, getting them involved, all those Romania fans behind the goal, and it's interesting just to see how much it means to these players. And now 3-0, you think they're home and dry, barring something absolutely spectacular from Ukraine or a complete capitulation from Romania.
It's the wingers that they're changing. They're taking off Man and Coman, bringing on Valentin Mihaila and Yanis Hadji.
Surprising when you look at the game, the way it's been played and how hard those wide players have to work. They're expected to join in the attack but also come back and help their full-backs out with the defensive duty, so it's a big shift for them.
Bringing Ukraine making a few changes as well. Volodymyr Brashko has come on for Taras Stepanenko. Shaparenko making way as well, as is Sihankov, and it's the veteran Andriy Yarmolenko who comes on for Sihankov in that wide area, and they brought on an extra striker as well. With Shaparenko going off, they've brought on Roman Yaremchuk, and he'll go alongside Dovbyk, you would think, in that attacking area. So 3 changes for Ukraine. They've brought on Roman Yaremchuk, Andriy Yarmolenko and Volodymyr Brashko. Brashko is a 22-year-old. He only made his senior Ukraine debut in March. Fair to say Yarmolenko is a bit more experienced. It's his 120th cap. And as for Yaremchuk, it's his 51st cap. So some experience coming onto the pitch for Ukraine will help.
Yeah, I mean, it has to a degree, but you've got to ask yourself the question, is it a little bit too late? It's a real big ask to claw 3 goals back to equalise it, let alone 4, and that's without taking into account how well Romania have done. You won't play it against them to score another.
63 minutes gone. Here on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2. Romania 3, Ukraine 0. An extraordinary scoreline. Goals from Nikolai Stanciu, Razvan Marin and Denis Dragush have put Romania in complete control in Munich. But Ukraine have won a free kick inside left channel, and about 35 yards from goal. Zinchenko and Mudryk standing over it. They did so want to do well, and they could still, of course, 2 games to go in the group stage, and remember, 4 of the best third-place teams will qualify, as well as the teams that finish in the top 2 spots. Mudryk over this free kick, drifts it in right-footed, the header away. It was only to the edge of the area, and the shot came in from Yarmolenko, but he got right underneath it, and the ball zoomed over the crossbar.
Yeah, he did. It's one of those difficult ones. It's headed back out towards the edge of the box where he is on the half volley. can't get it under control, hits it on the rise. But for Ukraine, I think it's important to at least get a goal back, whether that means for one of those positions. The goal difference is important, actually for the confidence as well. Coming into this game, heavy favourites, and to be losing 3-0, they can claw 1, maybe 2 goals back. It will help just a little bit for that confidence.
Bears repeating, Romania had only ever won once in Euro finals ahead of today. So if they do win, it'll only be their second victory. And it'll be their first since 2000. And Dennis Mann, by the way, who's created a couple of the goals, the first Romanian to provide 2 assists at a major tournament game since Georgi Hagi against Colombia back in the USA 94 World Cup. What a bad afternoon.
No, he's been really good. It's a shame for him really that he's not been on the score sheet, because I think he deserved it. He's played extremely well. He's got high. I was just looking at the average positions actually, and he's been the highest player on the pitch for Romania, and he's mentioned put in such a shift because he has to go back, and he was having to help out Rachu in the right back position and also get up and help the forward line, and had a really good performance.
Talking about Hagi, by the way, Yanis Hagi came on as a substitute a few moments ago. Has a lot to live up to. His father, Georgi, arguably Romania's greatest ever player. 124 caps, 35 goals, played in 6 major international tournaments. He was named as Romanian Footballer of the Year 7 times. No pressure, nothing to live up to there. Here come Ukraine down the right-hand side with Yarmolenko. Get off that right-hand side and just slid it to Yaremchuk on the edge of the area, but he was so quickly challenged by that Romanian back line, who have been exceptional. And then Romania winning a free kick in midfield. Razvan Marin again getting to the ball first, and Courtney can tell you feel he's been one of the players of the match so far.
Yeah, I like him a lot, the aggression that he plays with, but he doesn't go over the top with it, doesn't give away too many fouls. His positioning to intercept the balls has been excellent. Running forward, obviously for his goal where he found himself, was very good in terms of the position that he found himself in. The fact that he takes it quickly, so Lunin probably should do better, but equally struggles to get down a little bit to the ball. But especially in that back line as well, they've been so good at winning the ball back and being aggressive in the 1v1 battles.
Just seen our first yellow cards of the afternoon. Joachim Konoplia with the foul on Valentin Mihaila, who was surging away from him, pulled his jersey, dragged him down, and so Konoplia, the first man this afternoon in the book. He's had a tough afternoon, and he's not alone in that. Shakhtar Donetsk player. There's going to be a free kick wide on the left here for Romania, who are 3-0 up against Ukraine. Yanis Hagi standing over this. Stanchu there as well. Stanchu's already hit the bar with a set piece, and he's whipped this in and gone for goal, and it hit the side netting. Some of the fans in this stadium thought that was in, and Lunin was scrambling, but it hit the side netting, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, he was, and whether it's that free kick there or the corner, maybe there was a little bit of debate over was he just trying to find the area or was he going for the goal, and I think he's going for goal because I think he's seeing Lunin's position that's maybe a little bit off. He knows he's got the quality to whip the ball in, and the same there. I think he saw a little bit of space at the near post but couldn't quite find the target.
Here come Ukraine again with Konoplia down the right, but loses it. Wonderful work rate again from Romania. They have played with such intensity, such quality, and they will feel that they can make a real splash at this tournament. They're certainly not expected to do so by many, but they have been outstanding both in attack and defence. There's Sudakov, plays it forward to the edge of the area, and Yarmolenko goes back to Sudakov, Dolfik, central option, but the cross is headed away by Rachu, only as far as Zinchenko. Exchanges passes with Mudryk, 25 yards out. Mudryk goes down, free kick. And Romania a little too overzealous trying to win that one back.
Yeah, it's a shame with that one, but I think you're right. It's just the wrong side of being overzealous in the end. Does Mudryk make the most of it and go down when he feels the contact from Hadji? Yes, he does, but probably just come on the pitch, wants to make an impression, but just a little bit overzealous in the challenge.
His dad wasn't much of a tackler either, but it never stopped him. It's going to be a free kick then to Ukraine, inside left channel, around about 25 yards from goal. 70th minute in Munich. And a stunning scoreline, really. Romania 3-0 up against Ukraine. And it's becoming the perfect start to the tournament for Edward Yordanescu's men. Sudikov standing over this. Zinchenko there as well. But it'd be a surprise not to see Sudikov go for goal here. Florin Nita, the veteran goalkeeper, all in green. Readies himself in his short sleeves. It's Sudikov, and it took a deflection, and it goes way over the crossbar, and it'll be a corner.
Dragusin does so well in terms of making sure he makes the jump, gets himself in the way, doesn't turn his back, just quite happy to take that ball, even if it hurts, and make sure it doesn't go goalwards.
Have been Romanian fans openly weeping at how their team have performed in a good way. Mudryk's corner, headed away, and now Mihaila could bring it clear for Romania. And they are flooding forwards here, including Dragusin, who now has it on the left wing. Centre-back turns attacker, and he's charging forward, and he gets pulled down, which is pretty much the only way you could bring him down. But trying to stop a steam train, that. And it was Matvienko who came across and just nudged him over. Free kick Romania.
And he's actually really clever. We normally see this from forwards or wide players, the way that you put your body across the defender to make sure that you protect the ball. Dragusin does exactly that there and takes the challenge, and it's a free kick in a positive area for Romania.
Kodoplia being replaced here. He's on a yellow card, and it's right back for a right back. Alexander Timchik replaces him. He's the right back at Dynamo Kyiv. Came through the youth ranks there. Here's the free kick whipped in, and it was taken comfortably by Lunin in the end, but it was whipped in with real velocity, that.
Yeah, it was, and for all the mistakes that Lunin's made today, he's confident there. He comes and commands his area, collects it, and it's positive for him to get a little bit of confidence back after having a bit of a poor game by his standards.
Ball play forward towards Sudikov, who's trying to wriggle away from Marius Marin, and he's done it. He's also got away from two more challenges. That was brilliant. Works it out to the right-hand side. Yarmolenko's cross towards the near post, and Dragusin knocks it behind for a corner, and then a double fist pump to the fans behind the goal, and a few chest bumps as well with his teammates. He is fired up.
I absolutely love it, and maybe we've seen a few defensive celebrations a little bit too earlier on in the tournament, but that 3-0 up, he knows it's a vital intersection, and rightly so, celebrates with his players and fans.
Unfortunately, we do have a pitch invader, and it's just being helped very quickly off the playing surface. I think he wanted to give his congratulations to the Romanian players a bit early there, so he's been removed. We're going to have another double change here, and we're going to see George Pushkash, who Reading fans will remember. He's going to come on. So here is this corner first. Flat one, easily cleared. Falling back towards the edge of the area by Brashko. It's now with Mudryk inside left channel, 20 yards from goal. Trying to work a shooting angle. Still going, Mikhailo Mudryk slips it into the box. Looking for Dolfik, but Nita's there, and he's able to gather. And it remains Romania 3, Ukraine 0.
Yeah, for how well he does initially Mudryk. He beats a couple of players, 2, 3, then 4, but actually so many players in the box. So difficult to break through. Marius Marin's doing really well to track the run and just giving Nita, his goalkeeper, time to come out and collect the ball easily.
The other player who's going to come on, by the way, for Romania is Adrian Ruish, who won the Cypriot Cup with Paphos this season. Not a bad place to play your football.
I was about to say, lovely place in the world, one of my favourite destinations.
Ball hit long here down the right-hand side by Ukraine, trying to find Timchik. And he will get there, just down to the corner flag on the far side, the right for Ukraine, finding Yarmolenko. He picked up the captain's armband after Stepanenko went off. Ukraine looking for a way through. They found Sudakov. It's on the edge of the Romanian area. Romania will play it back here. Here's Mudryk curling across to the far post. That's headed away strongly. Every defensive intervention by Romania is being cheered as if it was a goal.
Yeah, right. So you know it's that vital part of the game where you're relying on your defence now. You're relying on that game management to be clever, to see you through, to win the ball back, and then just keep that little bit of calmness. Can you get the ball forward? Keep possession for a period of time, because you know Ukraine now are going to be throwing the kitchen sink at it.
So two players coming off. One of the goal scorers, Denis Dragush, making way for George Puskás. Currently plays with Genoa, although he has been on loan at Bari in Italy. And Adrian Rus comes on as well. So double change. Remember, still to come, Belgium against Slovakia live on TalkSport. That kicks off at 5. Nigel Adderley and Dean Ashton, the commentators for that one. And at 8 o'clock, we'll hear about France for the first time as they take on Austria. Joe Shannon alongside the former Scotland striker Chris Wellamo. Hear every kick of Euro 2024 on the TalkSport network. Offside flag is up against Romania. You are listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport 2, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. It's with Sudakov, who's manfully tried to get involved in this game. He's had some lovely runs, great touches. Works it to Timchik. Now Yarmolenko, the former West Ham player, wide on the right-hand side for Ukraine, but he's being forced to the touchline every time. Brashko works it to Sudakov, 25 yards out, right foot shot, and Nita is able to claim at the second attempt. It looked just for a moment as though it had squirmed through his grasp, but to Nita's relief, the ball was still there for him to grab.
It's the first real save that I can remember Nita having to make, and Sudakov does well, pushes it out with the outside of his foot to the right hand side and then tries to drive it back across to try and outfox Nita, but he claims it at the second time of asking.
77th minute here on TalkSport 2. Romania 3, Ukraine 0. A real surprise, not just the fact that Romania are winning the game, but the fact that they've pretty much bossed it. Nikolai Stanchu with the stunner in the first half, goals from Razvan Marin and Denis Dragush in the second half. Here's Mudryk still trying to lead the charge for Ukraine. Zinchenko across to Sudakov. Sudakov rolls it forward to Yaremchuk with the shot that hits a Romanian defender. Should just put that on loop, I think. That hits a Romanian defender. They've been absolutely outstanding.
Same old story. And those Ukrainian shots are tending to be coming from the edge or the outside of the box because they can't fashion enough space or get the ball through quick enough into the box. And as you say, there's always a Romanian player on hand to put their body on the line to block the ball in.
Nikolai Stanchu was just sat down, feeling the pain a little bit maybe. He was a player who had 2 weeks training with Chelsea as a 17-year-old, but a move didn't materialise. The Blues reportedly went back in for him in 2016, but saw their bid rejected. And he's been a player with a somewhat nomadic career, but on the big stage he has shone for his country this afternoon. And from Ukraine again, with Dragoshin having to stretch the clear, and then foul by Mihaila on Mudryk, and that's going to be Romania's first yellow card. Well, it's actually Marin who made the challenge. Razvan Marin, who went crashing into Mudryk there, arm across the throat really. And that's the first blot in the copybook really for Razvan Marin.
I think he's maybe a little bit unlucky as well. I think he's just trying to use his arm for leverage. He doesn't sort of force it backwards into Mudryk. For me it was 6 of one and half of the other.
And what it's led to is a free kick. Mudryk with those neck tattoos, those distinctive markings ready to take. Plays it in delicately, and Nita had to get across and gather the ball. It looked as though it might just clip the post actually, but he came across and gathered it before that could happen. And it's just taken away from Yaremchuk by Dragushin. Yet another intervention from the big Spurs player.
Yeah, he does really well, the slightest of touches, but yet again, despite having not a lot to do, Nita's ready to pounce on that ball and bring it to safety.
And there was a feeling that it might be Horatiu Moldovan who got the nod in goal, but he hasn't played at all in the second half of the season for Atletico Madrid. So Florin Nita, 46 years young, give him the nod. So it's depressing when you talk about veterans and they're a lot younger than you. I'm finding that a lot these days.
Football like that's a bit of an unforgiving place. That's why I retired when I did. There's a 16-year-old running about and makes you feel very old.
Get ahead of the curve, that's the one. Long ball towards the edge of the Ukrainian area, headed away strongly, but here is Yanis Hadji, plays it in low. Hadji's been on loan at Alaves from Rangers. Good start to be involved in starting 11s towards the end of the season, but he's generally found game time hard to come by in Spain with Alaves. In the final 10 minutes of normal time, an extraordinary scoreline: Romania 3, Ukraine 0. Goals from Stanchu, Razvan Marin, and then Dragush. The difference here. But Ukraine do still have time in this tournament to turn things around. They've not let the heads drop. They've kept on pushing, kept on trying to make things happen, but without success.
There's certainly not been a lack of effort by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just that lack of quality into the final third. They've not fashioned chances that were clear cut. I don't think you can look at the forwards and go, you've missed X, Y and Z chances and they should be doing better. It's just a lack of creation in that final third that needs to be looked at going into the next two games.
Romanian fans have had a whale of a time. They were making plenty of noise before we even got started, but I think this is beyond even their wildest dreams, the way their team has performed on the big stage. Well, Romanian journalists were saying that, it was a big surprise to qualify, certainly a big surprise to win the group. But we looked at this group and it did feel like an opportunity. Belgium, the big hitters, of course, but Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania would have felt they could compete against them at least, but they've been more than competitive today.
Yeah, look, we know football isn't played on paper, but you did look at that group and think that's probably the most open one out of all of them, and certainly Romania have got off to a fantastic start. So if it stays like this, 3 points on the board already, they're giving themselves obviously then a good chance of getting out of the group.
Going to be another change here, and Georgi Sudakov, who's kept on trying, kept on pushing, but without success today, he makes way, and the much more experienced Ruslan Malinovsky comes on for his 62nd cap. The former Atalanta and Marseille player. He's only got 4 Serie A goals this season for Genoa, and he failed to score in qualifying, but he was a regular at Euro 2020 when Ukraine had that fine run to the quarter-finals before they ran afoul of England, well beaten in Rome.
Sudakov has had a frustrating game, hasn't he? He's tried his best, but what stuck out to me was about 5 minutes ago where he was dropped in between the centre half to try and get the ball, and I think that says all you need to know about how frustrated he's been not to be able to influence this game the way he would have wanted to.
Ball was given away by Zabani rather clumsily. Pushkash was able to pick his pocket. Now Stanchu has it just inside the Ukrainian half. That was well won back by Malinovsky, who's only just come on. Referee looked at that and said, no free kick. Now it's played through to Mudryk. Big chance here, and he's put it over the top. Well, that's one of the clearest sights of goal Ukraine have had this afternoon, and Mikhailo Mudryk is wildly off target.
Yeah, you could argue he gets pushed a little bit wide, but for me, he's got to be at least hitting the target. He's trying to find that near post. You've got to go across the goalkeeper there. Ratiu, don't get me wrong, does really well to stay with him. dive in front of the ball to put him off when he takes a shot. But again, Mudryk has to do a lot better there.
Romania wanted a free kick in the build-up to that. They felt that Mihaila had been fouled, and just seen a replay on her monitors. Certainly didn't seem that way, that Mihaila was trodden on, but play was allowed to go on. What have you made of Mudryk's performance, actually? Because it's kind of similar to what we see at Chelsea. There are really good moments, then there are moments that are not so good, but he's still so young.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth in the sense that I think it very much follows the season that he had at Chelsea. You see him fits and starts, his quality, what he has, the way that he can jink past 3 or 4 defenders and you know, show a lot of quality, and obviously the pace that he possesses as well. But there's also, you see him and he goes past 3 or 4 players, but then you're waiting for that end product and it doesn't come. So it's a shame for him that he's not been able to influence the game the way that he would have wanted to. But you know, all season it's been the same old story for me. That end product has to develop. But you're right, he's such a young player and he's got time. But it's unfortunate for him when you have such a large price tag on your head. People want it immediately.
It was quite a sight a few moments ago in the stadium as the Romanian fans were united in song, raising the scarves. What an afternoon it's been for them. And for Ukraine, there are still 2 games to go, and they will feel they have enough quality to bounce back. They've shown throughout qualification they can recover from setbacks, and they're going to have to do that once again. Serhii Rebrov will have to raise his team. Going to be another change here for Romania. And they're taking off Nikolai Stanchu, who got that wonderful opening goal, the captain. He gives the captain's armband to Razvan Marin and gets a hero's ovation as he goes off. He'll be replaced by the much more defensively minded Bogdan Rakovitan.
Serves 2 purposes, doesn't it, in terms of bringing a defensive player on, making sure that you keep this 3-0 lead intact, but also bringing Stanchu off, wrapping him in cotton wool, making sure that he's in the best possible position for the next game, because he's been excellent today.
He is the one they look to for inspiration, Nikolai Stanchu, and he's provided it this afternoon. The creative heartbeat of this team. And it is Bogdan Rakovitan who comes on, who did play in a couple of the friendlies, but it's a competitive debut. It's only his 3rd cap. This is football in Poland. Here is Zinchenko. Means so much to all of these Ukrainian players that were so disappointed with how this afternoon has turned out. But of course it's worth remembering that just them getting here is remarkable when you consider the war in their homelands. They are under the most unbearable pressure, and yet they have borne that with grace and with real dignity, and they have taken their country to the big stage. And it is something that means so much more than just football. It's about keeping that conflict in the public eye. They've been quite open about that. And you certainly wouldn't write them off in the next 2 games.
No, certainly not. I think for Romania it's been a bit of a perfect storm in the sense that I think they've played well, probably above what we'd expect. And on the other side of it, Ukraine haven't had their best game by any stretch of the imagination. We know the quality that they have within their ranks, and we've not seen it really today. Dovbyk, you know, we were speaking about him before the game, the amount of goals he scored, but he's not been given that opportunity in front of goal by his teammates, so certainly Ukraine aren't out of it yet.
Here's Zinchenko with a booming cross from the left-hand side, which Mihaila put behind for a corner. Didn't get a shout there, or at least that's his story, and he puts it behind for the corner.
Yeah, maybe he's not being helped out by all the rowdy Romanian fans behind his goal.
Yeah, it is loud. It is very, very loud in Munich this afternoon. It's going to be a corner for Ukraine, who trail 3-0 in the 89th minute. Is there a consolation goal here? Whipped in by Malinovsky with pace and headed wide of his own goal by Puskás. It could so easily have been an own goal, but the ball whizzes wide of the far post. It'll be a corner.
And Nita comes out to punch that lack of communication.
It'll be Mudryk to take. It'll be He right-footed, just drifts it towards the near post and not good enough really, easily cleared by Romania. It's been a running theme for Ukraine this afternoon. Those set pieces just haven't been good enough.
Yeah, from both sides, specifically the corners, they've not cleared the first man majority of the time, and that's the main thing from the corner.
Fine run by Timchik, but his cross was blocked by Banku's done a super job on that left-hand side. Making sure Banku, very much established as the left back. Actually played twice at Euro 2016, so he does have experience at this level. And Romania just happy to let the time elapse. They're inching towards one of the most famous afternoons in their history, one of the best results. Talk about that USA 94 team a lot, but they do something special here. Well, this is a fine run though for Ukraine by Yaremchuk, and now it's played towards Mudryk. Can he get the cross in? He can, but he's too close to Florin Nita, and he just gathers it and does that goalkeeper's thing of just falling on the floor to let a few more seconds go by.
Yeah, you knew it was coming, didn't you? As soon as he drives up, collects that ball, he quite easily stood on his feet, but you can't blame him. Goes down, just trying to wind down the seconds to a very, very famous Romania win.
Play here towards Topic. Ukraine looking for that consolation goal, that crumb of comfort on what's been a very difficult afternoon for Serhii Rebrov's team. Cleared once again though by the Romanian rearguard, and they have Banku down. He's been down a couple of times this afternoon. He was actually trodden on by his own player there.
Yeah, not ideal, just on the top of his foot. But, winding down now into these last few minutes, the pain, the adrenaline, you won't feel it because the excitement now, knowing how close you are.
And what's worse was that it was his teammate Burku who did it and then celebrated to the fans. Played forward by Zabani. Here's Yaremchuk trying to lift it over the goalkeeper, and he's hit the crossbar. So close there, Roman Yaremchuk, to getting a goal back for Ukraine. Just let it drop over his shoulder, lifted it over the keeper. That is mightily close.
Yeah, Nisa had absolutely no chance. He stuck to the spot. The ball's flying over his head, and you can see Yaremchuk is just trying to find that top left-hand corner, drop it over the goalkeeper. But fortunately for Romania, the woodwork comes to their aid.
That kind of day for Ukraine. Yaremchuk, a player who hasn't been playing particularly well at club level, but he scored against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the playoff semi-final. Romania still trying to push on that left-hand side with Mihaila, but Ukraine have won it, and then the ball played straight out of play by Timchik, and nothing has gone right for Ukraine this afternoon. So what does Serhii Rebrov do now? How does he lift the players? Does he concentrate on their positives, what they're capable of doing?
Yeah, I think he has to. Look, there's obviously analysis to take from your game, but especially in tournament football, it's so thick and fast, you have to move on ever so quickly, and that's the important point for them. Move on quickly, take what you need to take from the game, but the concentration going into the next one, finding the positives as much as possible is the most important thing in tournament football.
Loud boos from those pumped up Romanian fans as Ukraine try and make something happen in the final moments of stoppage time here. Yarmolenko with a little step over, comes in on his left foot. Space here for Brashko. Thought about the shot, changes his mind, works it to Zinchenko. The Arsenal player feeds it infield, and again it's all too central really and all too predictable, and Romania with that yellow wall able to stand strong. The yellow wall of course is usually in Dortmund, but it's been in Munich today. Mudryk coming in field, right foot shot, Nita made a bit of a mess of it, it bounced off his chest and actually rebounded out of the area. Nita had to go and collect it, but he's been able to clear. That was a scare for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he gets a little bit lucky. I think he actually slips, and we've seen that a few times today from quite a few of the players. The surface probably doesn't look the best, and as he plants, his right foot just seems to slip. Manages to then get his torso and chest in in front of the ball in the end, but it was a bit of a shaky moment.
It's the Romanian fans you can hear, twirling scarves, jumping up and down, screaming to the heavens. What a day for them. Perhaps an unexpected one. It is Romania who have collected 3 points